Good morning, everyone. Chase Urick here, ready to get this morning call kicked off. I hope you guys had an awesome day yesterday. We're going to be getting to the production numbers here in just a little bit at the end of the call. So save those numbers and raise your hand, and we'll make sure that we get you unmuted and you can tell us how your day was yesterday. Very excited about that because there was a ton of numbers thrown out yesterday. Looked like it was a pretty active day. So also just want to reiterate something that we had mentioned last week. Our girls have been working diligently to get the lead images to show, get that problem fixed. There are leads still in the system that haven't been assigned yet, where the images are missing. So as you get assigned leads, you're still going to see some of those where you got to reach out to Brooklyn and ask for help. Reach out to the lead team and ask for help. But the permanent solution has been taken care of. So all the new uploads that we've been putting into the system, that's been corrected. And so just want to throw that out there to you guys that we're a couple of weeks of still needing to, get the images to you from leads that have already been uploaded. But all new uploads that have been put into the system the past couple of weeks, we have that problem solved. So stick with us and we'll keep helping you out. But we're going to get to the man with the plan. Going to have him back with us on the call. Joe Ciaccio, good morning. Turn it over to you, buddy.
Good morning, everybody. I talk to agents on a regular basis, and what happens is that when you're out there hustling, you're moving hard, you always tend to rush. And even us professionals, ones that do it all the time, we get some little itch in our butt. We just got to rush and just get to the next appointment. So here's my question I'm going to ask you. Have you ever gone to a home, made a sale, walked out, high-fived yourself, got in the car, did your annualized premium, times your commission, and you're all fired up and said, I just made $872. You get in the car, you're all fired up, and you're all excited, go to the next house, you don't make a sale, and either later that afternoon or the following day, the client you made the $872 on calls you and tells you, I want to cancel. And what happens, you're stunned. You're kind of like a deer in headlights. You said, I did everything right. I crossed my T's, I dotted my I's. I was point on. My God, I didn't interrupt them and all that stuff there. What's wrong? So now you're beating yourself up thinking about it. So why do we think about this here? Are you and I going to be able to avoid people charging back? No, it's never going to have 100%. I've had agents call me and say, Joe, I've got 98% persistency. I've got 92% persistency. And there may be a few of us out there who only sell a couple policies a year. Yet when we're out there busting our ass as we do, buying leads on a regular basis, knocking on doors, making phone calls, asking for referrals, and you start turning out a lot of sales, you're going to get more chargebacks than the person who doesn't write many sales, okay? So what about if we think about this here? We're at a house, we made the sale, do we just leave? Do we say, God, it's 9:02, I've got an appointment now at 9:20, I don't want to be late, and we rush? I feel that when I make a sale, the sale's not over until I reclose it, reclarify, to make that client feel that they made a great decision. Because what ends up happening is that when we go through the process of making a sale, everything we do is based on an emotional connection we have with that client. And then we got to tie in the financial situation that they are going to want to give us their money every month. And if you don't have those two components at sync, it's not a 50-50. You got to have 100% of their emotions involved by tapping on their heart and soul. And you got to make sure that you've tapped on that they feel that they can afford that monthly premium. Joe, they said they could. I had an appointment I had to go to. I didn't want to be late. I was on a roll. I had to do this, had to do that stuff there. Let's take a step back. let's kind of tap our brakes. What about if we just kind of slow down and give the client something? I don't know what you guys give to your clients when you leave. I don't know if you give them a high five or hello or a thank you or a hug or a handshake. Every one of our carriers gives us leave behinds, some type of sales periodical. I know there's a couple of them out there who charge for it. Yet most of the carriers we have will give you things to share with your client. I like to put my company card on whatever leave behinds I leave somebody. Doesn't matter what carrier it is. I want to put my company card on there. And a recommendation, if you guys need new cards or close to wanting to make some changes on your card, I recommend you to put your picture on it. Okay. It kind of like lets them realize on that card is your face, instead of them looking at a blank card saying, damn, I don't remember who that person is. So they look at it and they go, oh, yeah, that's that guy, James, that came to the house. Yeah, honey, I remember him now. It may make them second guess about canceling, because sometimes a client may have bought a policy from somebody else before, yet they like you. They don't know which one they want to cancel for whatever reason. Think about this here. What about if you're in the house, you tell the client, you know something, I'm very, very happy. Everything went smooth with everything. You were approved, preferred. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take us back to school. And this is something I do to make sure I did my job properly and to make sure when I leave the house, you totally understand what we've done. I like to give people the I am your policy. I like to highlight certain little phrases on there that they see that what they did today, what that policy is for. You can tell them it's for this, it's for that. Yet when you give them that piece of paper and highlight some of the significant words on there, it kind of taps a different part of their heart, because now they're reading it and seeing it. Leaving some type of periodical from the company, showing them what you're going to go over with them again. Remember that today what we did, we set you up a policy, and everything we spoke about goes into effect now. God forbid something happens to you. You have to be forthcoming and tell them the policy goes into effect when your check clears. Okay. Now, do I sit and go into that? No. I just sit and say the policy is in force. Everything is taken care of. God forbid something happens to you, your son or daughter, Anthony or Marie's going to get X amount of dollars. What we've done today was that we set up a program, because when you sent this card in, when you talk to the person at the front door, you normally ask them what motivated you to send this card in. Whatever motivated them to send the card in, I don't want to leave my family financially strapped. I don't want to leave them with a burden. Whatever they tell you, you have to remember that almost verbatim to respond back to them and say, when I got here, you said you wanted to take care of your son, Anthony, and Marie, your daughter, Marie. So we've accomplished that today by taking care of them, by starting this fantastic program. Now, as we said earlier, just to recap everything we spoke about, you're going to get a $15,000 policy, and it always stays level. And I get my hand, and I go from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock back and forth. The monthly premiums, the $87.14, is going to always be the same. And what I'd rather do and tell them is that instead of trying to remember the 87.14, let's just kind of make it an even $90. So that's an easier number for them to remember. It says 87.14, but why don't we just try to remember $90, which is much easier, okay? Now, secondly, when will your premium payments be coming out of your account next month? The second Wednesday, the third Wednesday. What is the name of the insurance carrier that I put you with? They have the periodicals right in front of them, and sometimes they realize and sometimes they don't, and say, yes, ma'am, it is with Royal Neighbors. Now, since this policy is started, as long as you make your premiums every month, when something sad happens to you, you know Anthony and Marie are going to get a check that I will probably deliver to them $15,000. And my job will now restart again to help them out. Okay. I got friends of mine who take care of all of these special needs for people. And I'll actually walk your children through this process because they're going to be extremely sad when you pass away. So my job will continue and it will restart up again when this day comes. Okay. Now, what ends up happening when I'm doing this with somebody, I'm not just talking all by myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you want to kind of have some type of interaction with them because you want them to feel that they made the decision on their own. Even though we're leading them down the yellow brick road, we're kind of showing them what is the best program. When you go out, and I've said this analogy 100 times, when you go out and you buy something, you're going to get some type of receipt. You guys give your client a receipt. They've got those blank conditional receipts, or you can write something on the leave behinds, $10,000, 8714, 2W, 3W, first payment due then. Sign your name and initial it on some spots, and then put the date on there. So that kind of serves as a receipt that you're giving them from what they did. It also gives them the leave behind to where they can look at everything that you've done. When you buy something at the store, you get a receipt and you get the couch to sit on, the TV to watch, the 2-pound lobster you bought you're going to eat. So you're going to get an instant gratification for what you spend your money on. What we offer is peace of mind, satisfaction, release of burden. And when they get this policy, they can't do anything with it other than look at it or put it in a drawer. And they're making payments on it every single month for that sad day to come. And people start thinking, damn, I'm 64 years old. I'm in damn good health. Let me just cancel this thing. Let me spend this $87 on something else and get the policy later. So this is why at the end, you need to tell people you are in great health. You're never going to get a program like this again because you're in great health. You're only on 2 medications. You had your heart attack 4 years ago. You had cancer 6 years ago. Fortunately, I'm an independent broker and I can get you this program today. If your health changes, you may not be able to get this great program at this very inexpensive price. So you have to let them know before you leave, don't cancel. Think. I also tell people, I didn't do this before, yet times are getting a little bit different now. My light bill at my house, my personal house, went up 40%. My office went up 15%. We're here the same hours. We're doing the same thing. We're not doing anything extra. At my house, I've got it on the Tampa Electric, got the little gauge. I turn it on at a certain time. It goes to 75 when I go to sleep. So if I know that I have increases in my bill, so do our clients. So now, well, not now because it went up, probably about the last 5 or 6 years, I've told people, I said, listen, a lot of times we run into a financial burden. And sometimes what people want to do, they just want to start canceling stuff they're paying. Before you go to cancel anything, I want you to call me. We're going to sit and talk about it. If anything, we can maybe lower your premiums to where you don't lose all of your coverage, because then when you want to start it up again, it's going to cost you more because it's based on your age. So if you're 70 today and you decide to cancel it when you're 74 and you want to start it up again, the premium is going to be higher. So in closing, talk to them about the decision they made. Re-emphasize the reason why they told you they wanted the free information. If they just said they wanted the information, you're going to pick something out of the conversation you had with them and say something that this is something that's going to benefit your husband, Frank, or your son, Anthony, or your daughter, Marie. Heart, soul, your finances. Give them something to hold when you leave. Give them a little receipt that you can write on one of the leave behinds. Okay. Make them feel comfortable that the decision they made was a smart decision. Let them know that you will be there to help their spouse or their children out when the sad day comes, and it's hopefully not for a long, long time. And lastly, what I recommend you guys to do is to send out a thank you card. Thank you cards to me just go a very, very long, long ways. Put your company card in there, say something, thank you very much. Congratulations, you were approved Preferred Plus with Royal Neighbors. You have any questions, give me a call. Here's an extra card to share with a friend. When you do that there, okay, make sure that you call them probably within a week or 2 weeks to see if they received their policy. I've had agents tell me, Joe, my God, I'm just so damn busy. I don't have time to do it. I got this and that. Think about this, guys. One phone call, or if you don't get a hold of them, the seniors today are getting very savvy. You can text them. Hello, Ms. Jones. This is Joe, your insurance agent. Want to make sure you got your Royal Neighbors policy. Should you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you, love you, appreciate you. See you soon. Go the extra step that other agents don't do. Because right now, if a client cancels on you for even $500, you know how much you got to buy more leads to make up that 500? You got to go knock on another door. Go the extra mile before you leave the house to hopefully solidify it, button it up, put the whipped cream on top of that cake to where they are satisfied. So with that said, guys, go out and hit them hard, make some money, and we'll talk next Tuesday.